I need to kind of clean my hands a little bit. Sorry. Hi everybody and welcome to my kitchen. As you might know from previous videos, I was born in Peru. I now live in Ireland for the past 20 years, but my childhood was actually spent in Spain. In Spain, in the month of October, we celebrate El Día de la Hispanidad, which is Spain's national holiday. And so I've had the great opportunity to experience Spanish culture and particularly Spanish cuisine. So I want to share with you my favorite Spanish recipes. Today we're going to be making Albondigas en salsa, or meatballs in sauce, Spanish sauce. Let's look at the ingredients that we're going to need. Okay, first things first, I'm gonna serve my meatballs with some creamy mash. We've made this before. You can check back my video where I did my beef and Guinness stew or my Peruvian asado de res. But I have them peeled here and they're ready in a pot. I'm gonna top them up with water and put them to the boil. There's nothing exciting about that, so that's gonna happen off camera. Next, I've got one slice of bread and I'm gonna cut out the crusts. Then I'm gonna add it to a bowl and I'm gonna put some milk on it. Basically what I want to do is soak the bread in the milk. You can squeeze it a bit to make sure that it soaks up nicely. This will only take a few seconds. And then we're gonna use this to go into our meatballs and it's gonna make it super, super moist and juicy. It's gonna be fantastic. I have everything ready now to go into my meatballs. I'm gonna take my bread, which is soaked up all of the milk, but I want to squeeze out a bit of the excess. Perfect, and they can go into your bowl. Next we can go in with our meat. I've got some pork mince, which is gonna make our meatballs super, super juicy. Then I have equal parts beef mince. Okay, get that out of the way. And next I'm gonna go in with my garlic. So I've got 2 cloves here, which I'm gonna crush into my bowl. And then I have some fresh parsley, which I'm gonna chop up and throw it straight in there. Right, I'm gonna season with some salt and pepper. Perfect. And lastly, we go in with some egg. And this is gonna help to keep our meatballs together. I'll do a second one. Next, the best way to do this is go in with your hands and mix everything really, really well. You want everything to be very, very well mixed in. You want to have a very homogeneous mixture. After a few seconds, you can see it's all very well mixed in and it's a little bit of a sticky mixture, but that's good, that's what we want. This is one of those recipes that every abuela in Spain knows how to make. Oh, it just reminds me so much of home. But of course, every household has its own variations of it. Some people add in grated Parmesan cheese in here as well, or you can add in some spices like maybe some cumin in there as well. This is my way of doing it. With that done, we have to just take portions of our mince and just roll it into our meatball shapes. Something like that. They're about golf ball size and they are bigger than Swedish meatballs, which you've probably heard of. Let me know if you'd like me to show you how to make those as well. They are actually very, very delicious. So I'm just going to continue doing that. If you find that your mixture is a little bit too sticky, you can wet your hands and that will really help to prevent the meatballs from sticking to your hands. But it's very easy and it's something that can be quite therapeutic actually. Just make sure that you get them all roughly the same size so that they cook evenly. Okay, I finished shaping all of my meatballs. I got 21 altogether, so somebody's gonna be unhappy because they're gonna get one less. The next step is to actually flour them. So I've just got a little plate here and I have some flour. And all I want to do basically is roll my meatballs in there. You wanna make sure that they're well covered, but also shake off the excess afterwards. This will help to create a crust when we're cooking them and also help them to keep their shape. And just do that with all of your meatballs. So simple so far, right? Okay, everything's floured, we're all set up. So I'm just gonna put my pan on a medium heat and I'm gonna put in some olive oil. And once it's come to temperature, you can put your meatballs in. You don't want your heat to be too high because we don't want the meatballs to burn. We're only trying to get a little bit of color now. We're not even trying to cook them all the way through. Okay, some of these are done, so I'm just gonna put them onto a plate. I'm just quickly gonna do my second batch and then when we come back, we'll be ready to start making our sauce. Okay, all of my meatballs are now seared and they're looking gorgeous. I see all my favorite cherry bits all at the bottom of the pan. That's gonna give us such amazing flavor. To try and get that back, I'm just gonna go in with some very finely chopped onions and I'm gonna add in some salt to help to release the moisture from the onions. That's gonna help to deglaze the bottom of the pan. What we're actually making, it's called Salsa Española, which translates to Spanish sauce. But of course, I'm gonna do some little tweaks to it. Just keep that moving and scrape the bottom of your pan. Okay, my onions have cooked down nicely, so I'm gonna go in with my wine now. And I'm gonna cook this until the alcohol evaporates. It'll only take a couple of minutes. If you wanted to keep this alcohol free, you could just use stock. Okay, the alcohol is all evaporated now, so I'm just gonna go in and take some fresh tomatoes, and I'm gonna shred them in. I shred them because I don't actually want the skin. And you see, as I've shredded it, all of the tomatoes gone in, and I've been left with just the skin, which I don't want in my sauce. All right, and with all my tomatoes shredded, they can go straight in. Give them a good stir in. And we're almost at the end now. Next, I'm gonna go in with my beef stock. And then I can incorporate my meatballs. If there's any juices, make sure they go in there. Perfect. Rinse them nicely. Make sure they're submerged. I'm gonna let this come to a boil, then reduce to a simmer. Put the lid on and let it cook for about 15 to 20 minutes. The sauce should thicken nicely, and we want to cook the meatballs through to the center. So we'll see you in 15-20 minutes. Okay, it's been 20 minutes and my sauce is reduced nicely, but it's not quite as thick as I want it to be. So I'm going to thicken up my sauce. I have a tablespoon of flour here in a bowl, and I'm going to take some of the sauce, put it into the flour, whisk it together until I get a nice and thick paste, and then incorporate that back into the pan. The reason why I don't add the flour directly into the sauce in the pan is because it's going to form lumps, and I don't want that. We're going to give it a stir. And I'm going to add in my peas in now and stir them through also. And I'll let that cook for 4 minutes. Tastes great, but I think it needs a little bit of salt and pepper. Okay, I'm gonna let that cook down, and in the meantime I also have my mashed potato ready. It's nice and creamy. It's perfect. I'm just gonna put in some freshly cracked pepper in here as well. Some people don't like the specks, so you could use white pepper, but I love them. And now we're pretty much ready to split up. Okay, so I'm just gonna get some mashed potato first. Just put it in my bowl, and I wanna make a little bit of well in the center. So I'm gonna put my meatballs in there, and I want the mash to kind of contain the sauce a little bit. And then I'm gonna get my meatballs. And a little bit of my sauce. Okay, and then just for a little bit of garnish, I got some parsley, which I'm gonna put on top. And there it is, our beautiful albondigas in salsa. I can't wait to try it. Let me cut into one and see what it looks like inside. That is perfect. It is so juicy. Oh my God. It's incredible. The mash and the sauce are also beautiful. The mash is so buttery. The sauce that coats everything just kind of brings everything together. It's just perfection. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed the first recipe in my series of traditional Spanish recipes. This one is an absolute must. Everyone in Spain has eaten this. Everybody loves this. It's such a wonderful, hearty dish. Please make sure you give it a try and let me know what you think of it. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a big like and leave me a comment down below what you thought of the recipe. And if you try it and you want to post it on social media, make sure you tag me on Instagram and leave my handle down below. With that, I'll leave you for this video and enjoy. Adios.